Fantastic, baby. Dance. I wanna dance, 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 dance. Fantastic, baby. Dance. I wanna dance, 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 dance. Wow. Fantastic, baby. 이 난장판에 hey.
What is capital budgeting? Capital budgeting is the process of determining which real investment projects should be accepted and given an allocation of funds from the firm. To evaluate capital budgeting processes, their consistency with the goal of shareholder wealth maximization is of utmost importance. Payback period, the number of years required to recover a project's cost. How long does it take to get the business money back? A break-even type measure. Payback period is the time in which the initial cash outflow of an investment is expected to be recovered from the cash inflows generated by the investment. It is one of the simplest investment appraisal techniques. The formula to calculate payback period of a project depends on whether the cash flow period from the project is even or uneven. In case they are even, the formula to calculate payback period is initial investment over cash inflow per period. When cash inflows are uneven, we need to calculate the cumulative net cash flow for each period and then use the following formula for payback period. Payback period equals A plus B over C. In the above formula, A is the last period with a negative cumulative cash flow. B is the absolute value of cumulative cash flow at the end of the period A. C is the total cash flow during the period after A. Decision rule: accept the project only if its payback period is less than the target payback period. Accounting rate of return, also known as the average rate of return or ARR, is a financial ratio used in capital budgeting. The ratio does not take into account the concept of time value of money. ARR calculates the return generated from net income of the proposed capital investment. The ARR is a percentage return. Accounting rate of return is calculated using the formula ARR equals average accounting profit over average investment. Average accounting profit is the arithmetic mean of accounting income expected to be earned during each year of the project's lifetime. Average investment may be calculated as the sum of the beginning and ending book value of the project divided by 2. Another variation of ARR formula uses initial investment instead of average investment. Decision rule: Accept the project only if its ARR is equal to or greater than the required accounting rate of return. In case of mutually exclusive projects, accept the one with highest ARR. Let's now proceed to the internal rate of return. IRR is the rate of return that the project generates. Algebraically, IRR can be determined by setting up an NPV equation and solving for a discount rate that makes the NPV equal to 0. Equivalently, IRR is solved by determining the rate that equates the present value of cash inflows to the present value of cash outflows. You may use your financial calculator or a spreadsheet. IRR usually cannot be solved manually. If IRR is greater than the opportunity cost of capital or hurdle rate, then accept the project, otherwise reject it. Here is the sample project. Let's now proceed to the last topic of capital budgeting, which is the net present value. Formula: net present value is equal to the present value inflows minus present value outflows. If NPV is greater than or equal to 0, then accept the project, otherwise reject the project. Net present value, strengths and weaknesses. The strengths, resulting numbers easy to interpret, shows how wealth will change if the project is accepted. Acceptance criteria is consistent with shareholder wealth maximization. Lastly, relatively straightforward to calculate. This is, first, it requires knowledge of finance to use. Second, an improper NPV analysis may lead to the wrong choices of projects when the firm has capital rationing, and this will be discussed later. In computing the net cost of investment, or simply cost of investment, let's just remember the formula paint test. P stands for proceeds from sale or paid-in allowance from disposal of old asset, plus A, additional or necessary costs, I, increase in working capital, N, net purchase price of the new asset, net of purchase discount, taken or not, T, tax in case of gain from sale or disposal of the old asset, plus tax paid from savings on avoided cost of repairs if the old asset is replaced, minus ES or estimated savings from avoided repairs and maintenance if old asset is replaced, less T or tax savings from loss on sale of old asset. Coin equals paint test.
Fantastic, baby. Dance. I wanna dance, 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 dance. Fantastic, baby. Dance. I wanna dance, 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 dance. Wow. Fantastic, baby.
MAS2 na stands for Manager's Influence, Separated Segment, Divided, Independence, Autonomy. We have met code the FAIR for the advantages of decentralization. M stands for motivated, E enhance, T training, Co control, D decision making, fair fairly reward. And comes disadvantages of decentralization, need for competent people, measurement system, sub-optimization. Comes in the formula of the return of investment, we have to remember two triangles. In the first triangle, it has info over PS. Info stands for income from operation, P, profit margin, and S, sales. First triangle multiplied by the second triangle, which has the S, IT, A. S for sales, IT for investment turnover, and A for asset. Info over S equals P, and S over A equals AD. Let's now study the basic assumptions about cost volume profit analysis, or the CVP analysis. CVP analysis is valid only within the company's relevant range of activity. If an activity was made beyond this point, the relationships of fixed costs, volume, and variable costs may vary. Costs are classified as the fixed and variable only, no more mixed cost, as mixed cost was assumed to have been segregated already using any cost segregation formula. In a multiple product line, the sales mix is assumed to be constant throughout the year. The selling price and the unit variable cost are constant over all sales volumes within the company's relevant range of activity. The only cost driver is the volume units produced.
Wow, fantastic, baby. Dance.